Okay, welcome to another HickoryHacker.com golf course profile. This time I'm playing Roseland Golf Course in Woodstock, Connecticut. Roseland was a short 9-holer designed in 1896 and was one of the oldest golf courses in Connecticut before it closed for good this past October. On this particular day, I'm using my pre-1904 smooth face Gutty golf set. It's basically just 5 clubs, 3 irons, a putter, and a splice-neck driver that I put together. And I'm also using a McIntyre Golf limited flight Varden Flyer bramble ball. So the dimples are on the outside of the ball, and it's designed to mimic the distance that you would have gotten out of a turn of the century golf ball. So picking up the action, the first hole is a relatively straightforward par 3. There's a hill on the right side that helps the ball funnel toward the green, but the best shot is straight ahead. I only got to play this course twice before it closed, but I really liked it, and I wish that it was still around. It was the perfect golf course to use my Gutty clubs at because all the holes were pretty short, and I felt like while some people would complain about the condition, the tee boxes being bare and some bare spots out in the fairways and the greens being a little slow, I actually liked all of that because I think it made for a more authentic experience playing with antique golf clubs. So here's a closer look at the aforementioned splice-neck brassie I put together. The head was made by David Kinnell. I estimate the age probably between 1908 and 1912, which means that it doesn't qualify for the National Hickory Championship or other formal Gutty events that follow the strict equipment guidelines, which basically state that the club needs to be made before 1900 or by a authorized replica manufacturer. Still, this is my first real advanced hickory project where I actually fashioned the splice out of an old Wright and Ditson shaft that broke off a brassie, and I just wanted to get the club in play. I might use it in my regular hickory set. It's 15 degrees, so it's a good club off the tee for me. It'll be all right. Yeah. This next shot's a good example of the quirkiness of this course, in my opinion. There were a lot of blind shots built into the routing. And according to fellow Connecticut hickory golfer Jacob Orcutt, who's put together a comprehensive index of pre-1935 golf course routings in Connecticut at cthickorygolf.org, nobody knows exactly who designed this golf course, but there's some speculation that it was probably one of the primary landowners in Woodstock who decided to lay this out for him and his friends to play what at the time was becoming a very popular game in America. Should also mention here that my playing partner on this day was Mike Oatley, who contacted us through the Connecticut Hickory Golfers with an interest in getting into hickory golf, and this was his second time out, and he's taken to the game pretty well and is getting better every time we play together. Here's another blind shot, this one off the tee. Goes about 200 yards uphill and then levels out at a plateau with an approach to an elevated green. That'll be okay. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, I only have 3 irons, so for longer approaches, I'm using this club, which is a 28-degree club made by A.H. Finley. And for shorter approaches and pitch shots, I ended up using this club the most. It's a 40-degree lofter made by Dame Stoddard Company in Boston around the turn of the century. And this is just one of those all-around workhorse clubs in a Gutty set that kind of underscore the creativity opportunity you have with Gutty clubs, even more so than pre-1935 Hickory clubs where you've got more options in the bag. And then there's the putter, which is a pre-1904 Tom Stewart. You can tell that it's pre-1904 because it doesn't have the trademark registration info underneath the pipe cleek mark. And I got along with this club pretty much right away. It feels great in my hand, and it's going to make a run at being my full-time gamer if I continue to hit putts like this one.
Oh, nice putt.
This was another fun hole. This used to be a par 3 that was straight ahead to where that bare tree is in front of me. But now it's a right angle dog leg that pretty much the play here is, unless you can slice it around the corner, you got to go straight ahead about 170 yards. So you got an angle into the green, which is down into a little hollow. And I didn't quite get far enough to get a clean angle, but I had just enough window here to chip that 40-degree lofter down the hill and close to the green. So according to Jacob, this hole has been redesigned since the original layout in 1896. From what Jacob could tell from aerial photos around 1934, this hole originally went further right, and the fairway kind of hugged the tree line on the right there, and then there was a punch hole green.
Through the goalposts.
This is where, you know, a modern golfer complains about condition, and where I'm kind of relishing the opportunity to hit a golf ball in a very authentic turn of the century situation where you've got ruts and just hard turf to hit off of. And I was able to dig it out of there okay with the lofter, but I ended up pulling it left of the green.
Wrong spot.
Oh, it died. Ended up rolling way more than I thought it would. Yeah, so this hole kind of messed up my scorecard a little bit, but you know, that's the way it goes. This is a short par 4 that you could get some nice rollout off the tee if you kept the ball on the left of where I'm aiming. but inexperience probably played a role here. I kept trying to position myself to hit to the right side of the fairway both times I played here, and that was a mistake. So I've got a decent lie here. Really all I'm trying to do is hit kind of a low pitch shot that'll go down the hill. The green is below the horizon by that pine tree. I ended up getting under this way too much and just popping it up. And from here to the green, I ended up playing small ball. I don't think I had the right club there. That shot that came up short does give me an opportunity to talk about this club, which is my Harry Vardon Spalding small head niblick from the turn of the century when Vardon made his first tour of the United States. Spalding made this set of clubs, a signature set for him, and marketed it with his tour. This club is more refined than a rut niblick, but still for very specific kinds of shots, extracting it from bad lies, deep rough around the green. And I didn't use it too much, but when I did, I had some decent shots with it. So number 7 looks like a long hole, 211-yard par 3, but it's all downhill, which made it the easiest hole on the course, because if you placed this right in front of you, you'd get a ton of rollout that basically got it up to the green.
Oh, that might be too far. That could be road.
I always like these features on a course, obviously for safety, but they give the course some character. There wasn't anybody behind us, but if I see a bell, I gotta ring it. So from the easiest hole, we go to the hardest hole, and this is the longest hole. This one dog legs left a little bit and then comes back right toward the green. I definitely noticed the limited flight aspect of the Vardon flyer ball I was using on that tee shot, because I tagged that, and it still only went about 180, 185 yards. One of the things I'll say about the bramble ball, you see me looking at it after every hole out, basically because it got dirty fast and it was hard to get the grass and dirt stains out from in between the dimples. And that takes us to number 9. The green is basically in front of where I'm standing, so the play here is to try to go right of the berm that's on the left side, but I ended up pulling this tee shot further left than I wanted, and it ended up careening all the way down the left side of the berm. So not a bad round up to this point, but I'm kind of stumbling to the finish line here. Not a bad shot, but put a little too much on it. Ended up putting it over the back of the green. So that wraps up my round of Gutty golf at Roseland Golf Course in Woodstock, Connecticut. Thanks for watching another HickoryHacker.com golf course profile. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it.